Hello YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. I'm going to do a few more videos tonight, Sunday, February 5th, about 8:24 p.m. Um, I'm going to cover a few different topics tonight. One of them has to do with road rage. In, well, actually, not really road rage, but it has to do with, well, Seattle traffic, Puget Sound traffic. Um, and, a lot of what, and there's a, it's a it's a little bit hard to sometimes to keep up with all the updates from the state government in Olympia, but there's a lot of efforts being made to try to alleviate the traffic issues in Washington. But I'm fully aware that there are traffic issues, of course, in all kinds of stuff in California, LA especially, and throughout the country, New York and Washington and Houston and other. So it's not like we have we have really bad traffic though. I think we just need to improve the traffic situation. It's very very bad, and it's been bad for quite a while. But it's when you have a more we have some limitations in Seattle, as you guys are probably aware of. Like for instance, San Francisco is blocked in three different directions by water. It's great because it's scenic, and there's a nice port area, But yeah, you have two bridges in the ocean, on the west. Seattle has Puget Sound on the west, Lake Washington on the east, and has these north-south. There's land, but it's all developed, and it's all. I mean, there are areas of Seattle that are still not. There are certain areas that aren't fully developed, but um, not too many, and there's just not like a bunch of undeveloped land just to put down an extra freeway or I've always thought it maybe having a third bridge over the lake would be a good idea. Um, but so Seattle has some issues, right? Not just Seattle, but north of Seattle, certainly south of Seattle and Tacoma, even Everett to Marysville. Boeing and all the um, Everett to Marysville traffic, and also Everett out to Lake Stevens. The whole Puget Sound, greater Seattle area, Seattle, basically actually Olympia all the way up to Everett, Olympia, Tacoma, Puyallup, um, Kent and Auburn and Renton, Bellevue, Redmond, Eastside, um, Seattle and Linwood and Edmonds, Everett, Marysville. The whole thing is just a nightmare from 3:30 to 7 p.m. in the morning. It's pretty bad too. So it's okay. So again, there are efforts being made, I know, by the state government to try to alleviate issues. And I'm going to leave in the description a link that you can go to read up on all that stuff. But I can tell you, there's, I think there's efforts being made to get more to mass transit, but uh, basically, what a lot of folks are really upset with has to do with I-405. And there's, of course, they put in some toll lanes. That was a huge project that's taking a long, long time. And when they finally put in two different toll lanes, I believe that the money didn't even go back to the government. I think it went to some company in Texas that the state government contracted to do the work for them. So the revenue is going to Texas. All right, that's our little gift to you, I guess, Texas. None of us. It was just who came up. Did they have any other options? I mean, how did that happen? That was just ridiculous. And then But then on top of that, I don't even know why they had to make them toll lanes. I mean, is the idea of paying a toll to fund your own government? I mean, your own state government. So, and they're very. You have to know where to exit and enter the different toll lanes, and it's a little bit steep, my opinion. But nobody's really, not too many people are using them, and so we have 3 lanes at I-405 that are always backed up, and it should have been just a 5-lane freeway, um, and maybe have a little bit higher gas prices or have an extra tax on gas. I would have gone for that, but anyway. Even a toll that goes to fund the state government would have been better than what they've done. And so, in addition to this issue, and I know a lot of you guys are familiar with this around the Seattle area, um, Seattle needs a subway. It's time that Seattle had a subway, and that's really expensive, but it needs to happen. It must happen. There's no way around it. Seattle can do. I think that there's some works. So there's some plans to do light monorail or light rail. I mean, light commuter rail, and also more buses, and but in addition to that, there needs to be a subway system, and that's going to be expensive, but it needs to happen. Um, we're kind of landlocked a little bit, and okay. So in addition to all this, I'll make sure not to have this one too long, but there are issues with accidents every single day. There are dozens and easily over a dozen accidents every day. Probably closer to 20 or 30. Actually, maybe even more than that. In the just in one day, in the Puget Sound area, it's just everywhere. There's accidents everywhere, and so, when you get out on the freeway, you have to kind of really, keep your distance from the cars, and it's a nightmare. Um, it's probably as bad as California now, just about pushing into the LA. Um, I want to know, what the folks that designed Seattle's roads were thinking, though, when they came up with their big plans. Were they aware of how big Seattle was going to get, the metropolitan area? I mean, we're looking at basically close to 4 million, in the greater area now. I mean, it's going in that direction. 2.5 million more or so, you're going to be in the same ballpark as the Bay Area, San Francisco. It's not. We're getting there. We're Seattle's getting bigger. It's getting more crowded, and it's just it's kind of crunch time right now. So anyway, I'm for one not very happy with the situation, and I'm sure most people aren't either. So I'm just trying, when I go on the roads, I'm trying to plan my day as much as possible. If I'm driving to teach private lessons, it's great to be able to go teach lessons at times when there's less traffic. That's what I'm trying to do. It works sometimes, but anyway, leave me your thoughts and comments below. All right, talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.